Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, we just can't stop winning, boys and girls, because obviously the Disney company has realized that the path that they were walking down, trying to put a bunch of identity politics into children's television shows, is not working in any way, shape, or form. It is blowing up in their face. Obviously, you heard the reports from IGN about all of the little weirdos out there who had been fired from Pixar complaining about, oh, they made us take all the gay out. They whined, they cried, and guess what? That movie made $1 billion. And ladies and gentlemen, we've got another prime example of that. Even things over there on the Disney Channel are changing, ladies and gentlemen, because the Walt Disney Company, yes, the Bob Iger Corporation out there has stuck their finger in the wind, figured out it's blowing a different direction, and now they are trying to get away from the gay as fast as they possibly can. And this is another prime example of it, because Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, which I mean, my God, apparently is a Marvel kids series over there on Disney Plus, and boy, what a name for it. Well, now there are reports that they have yanked an episode that is now leaked online showing the main protagonist supposedly being trans, and ladies and gentlemen, it is now gone, and supposedly some Disney insiders are out there talking about it, but it's weird how they're trying to deny this, but at the end of the day, this is not the first time we have seen more of the gay ripped out of the Walt Disney Company, and it looks like it's going to continue going forward, because guess what? The identity politics nonsense doesn't sell, especially in children's entertainment, and now Disney has finally been taught that lesson. So we're going to check out this article from Bounding Into Comics, getting all of the juicy details of exactly what's going on and what this episode contained as well. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, leave us a comment in the section down below. Do you believe Disney is actually trying to make a change here? Do you think we will actually have good quality, safe children's entertainment going forward, or do you think there will still be those activists inside of the company that will try to worm this stuff in there no matter how sly they get away with it? Let us know what you think about all that in the comment section down below. Also, if you'd like to help support this channel, please check out the links in the description as well. So from Bounding Into Comics and our dear sweet Spencer McCooley, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur episode revealing Brooklyn as transgender pulled from broadcast. Animator claims it was shelved because of which party won the recent election. But Disney denies. Not publicly, of course, just a few insiders out there. But yes, this is an absolute win, ladies and gentlemen. In an admittedly surprising development, I'm sorry, I don't really think this is surprising anymore. We have talked about this time after time after time. We have reported on the rumors long before our dear sweet Chris Gore over there at Film Threat talked about the fact that Marvel fired all of their activist producers. We have talked about this in the past, where we heard the rumors about Kevin Feige's edict on Daredevil Born Again out there that get rid of it, make it just like Netflix. They fired everybody involved. They fired everybody in the Blade reboot. They fired everybody. This should not really come as a shock to anybody out there paying attention, because at the end of the day, the Walt Disney Company is a business and it has to make money. And guess what? Woke don't sell. In an admittedly surprisingly development considering the current media landscape, an episode of Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur in which the character Brooklyn is revealed as transgender has been pulled from broadcast on Disney's direct orders. Originally scheduled to air on November 15th as part of the Marvel animated series' second season. And literally, I had no idea this was a Marvel series. Had you guys ever heard of this? Does anybody even watch the Disney Channel anymore? I don't know. The episode titled The Gatekeeper sees the volleyball team at Moon Girl's middle school, the Squirrels, including the titular hero, who serves as their water girl. Of course, not actually playing the sport, because why would you do that? Going up against the league's defending champions, the Lady Leopards, in the school's district regional playoffs. Getting in some practice ahead of the game, the aforementioned Brooklyn at one point decides to take a breather, and doing so, filling up her water bottle, itself predominantly adorned with a "Trans is Beautiful" sticker. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's exactly the kind of demonic influence they were trying to put over your children. And guess what? It's not going to work anymore. Sitting down to her extra friend, the non-binary Ty, and proceeding to snack on some orange slices. Biting her first citrus piece, Brooklyn remembers this. Orange slices bring me back to my soccer days. We've come a long way since 5th grade. Really? This is the kind of demographic you get? This just shows you how sick and evil the Walt Disney Company has become over the years, and the kind of nasty indoctrination garbage you kind of put in there. The orange slices were the only light in the darkness of me having to play on the boys team. Oh, that's right, because it's an actual boy out there pretending to be a lady. Color us shocked there. And of course, the coach and everybody around him is supporting and they're aforementioned and they're like, yay, we love you. It's great. It's wonderful. We all love you. Yada, 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 yada. And of course, the bad guy is the person who's trying to disqualify them and yada, 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 because of course they're a big gotcha. Nada, nada, nada. So Coach Greer uses a magic key that can unlock any door and transforms the room inside to an ever-changing nightmare landscape. As explained to the team by a holographic projection of the captor, can only be escaped by completing a series of mental and physical challenges, eventually solving enough of Coach Greer's puzzles to earn their freedom. The squirrels are shocked to discover that upon stepping through the door, rather than the hole was the other squirrel, they are sent back to the very beginning of Coach Greer's traveling room. By explaining the situation, Brooklyn reveals, it's a creepy hologram Greer. To get out, I must follow my rules. I'm trans. My very existence breaks Greer's rules, which means as long as I'm a member of this team, we'll never escape. Oh, that's right. The fact that she is trans means that it can't breed it. So, of course, the villain in this game is this big, bad bigot, yada, 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 yada at all. So notably, Brooklyn's voice actor, India Moore, themselves identifies as both transgender, male to female, and non-binary. Oh, color us shocked there, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. So this is the tweet right here. Breaking. The shelved Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur episode, the title The Gatekeeper, has been leaked online. With the episode's LGBTQ plus focus, Disney chose to shelve this episode. Now it gets to be seen by all. Oh, wow. Color us shocked there. I mean, if you really want to watch the full episode, by all means, just see how bad it is. But at the end of the day, we know this kind of nonsense, this kind of garbage, as well as everything else. So news of this episode's shelving was first broken on November 12th, roughly 3 days ahead of its originally planned air date by animator Derek Malik Johnson. So I guess I finally got hit with one of the project's episodes I worked on is getting shelved because of which party that won the recent election. It breaks my heart knowing that this impactful and amazing is now to be considered a lost media episode. Oh, yes, that's right. Disney doesn't want you indoctrinating their children anymore. Because guess what? They realized it doesn't sell. And the entire culture has rejected this nonsense very loudly and very clearly. I'm sorry, Derek. And of course, he's on his blue sky because God forbid he be on the evil X that mean evil Elon Musk owns. However, as both the episode's shelving and Johnson's reasoning began receiving news coverage, an unidentified, boys and girls, and I'm sure it's probably one of the activists still left inside the Disney company, but of course they're just trying to run cover fire for the fact they don't get a bunch of backlash from the woke. But guess what? It's too late, and at the end of the day, we have found out that the woke does not the woke does not add up to any significant portion of the population that actually buys your toys, watches your movies, or your television shows, which is why we have seen a disastrous dumpster fire in your box offices and in your TV ratings every time you try to shove an agenda into another property. It has failed time and time again. An unidentified Disney reporter denied the explanation, conversely, by telling Polygon, well, of course it was Polygon, another activist organization that's completely and totally part of the spirit of the age. Color us shocked there. In this case, the decision was based on this specific episode, not because of the character being trans. Oh, really? Oh, really? Even though we know from insiders out there that got fired from Pixar inside of the Disney Corporation that they got rid of all of the gay stuff. They were told intentionally to remove it, and they fired everybody involved that was trying to force that stuff in there, which once again, like we said earlier, that movie went on to make $1 billion. Further, said an insider, asserted the episode was not been banned, but rather pulled. What's the difference? What's the difference on that one? It's not banned, but it's pulled. So were you ever going to air it? Oh, though they did not provide any details as to when it might debut on Disney Plus. Oh, color us shocked there. It's never going to see the light of day because guess what? Disney is tired of the backlash. Disney is tired of losing billions of dollars trying to push your agenda. They are done sacrificing on the altar to your false god because guess what? Just like every other false god in history, they don't actually give you anything in return. Likewise, despite their denials, that episode's scheduling change was due to neither the recent re-election of Donald Trump or its transgender storyline. The insider declined to provide the supposed actual reason for it being pulled. Color us shocked. No. It wasn't because with the trans stuff. It wasn't because of all the gay stuff. It wasn't because none of that sells. No. We're just pulling it for reasons? Come on now, boys and girls. You're not that dumb. No one out there is that stupid. They have thought we were that stupid for a very long time. They thought we were just going to lap up this agenda-driven drivel nonsense over and over and over again. And guess what? It has failed. It has blown up in their faces. And now they're yanking stuff left and right, and color us shocked there. They've got no other good reason other than the very obvious one. That guess what? Your gay nonsense doesn't sell anymore, especially in children's entertainment. This stuff was never going to work. You bowed down to this screaming mob out there on the internet who represent a microcosm of the population out there and literally don't do you any good whatsoever. And now you have found that out with the election of Donald J. Trump and, of course, the hundreds of billions of dollars that the entertainment industry has lost betting on these acolytes of the cult, betting on these woke agenda to be as big as what these screaming psychopaths said that it was going to be. And guess what? It is blown up in their faces time and time again. So yes, this episode was absolutely pulled because of the transgender nonsense in it. Because guess what? I didn't think I'd ever say this, but boys and girls, I think the Walt Disney Company is finally done with gay. Holy cow, they're not actually going to try to indoctrinate your children anymore because guess what? We're all wise to the nonsense. We've all woken up to it, and we will make sure that every single project that they try to interject and indoctrinate and brainwash our children with their agenda with will fail miserably and cost them hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions. And finally, after a very long, hard road, ladies and gentlemen, take a victory lap because this is because of each and every one of you nerd and geeks out there who have called this nonsense out, who have turned all of it off and made sure your children will not be influenced by the Disney's not-so-secret gay agenda. And guess what? It looks like the not-so-secret gay agenda is finally over, ladies and gentlemen, and ain't that good news to hear?